Let me see. In the first video, we learned how to build a scale using whole and half steps. Second video, we learned how to number the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is also just like 1. And then we learned how to use the numbers to describe melodies, like Frere Jacques. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we learned how to build a chord, and the chord uses the notes. The notes in the chord are 1, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5. So now if you have questions, go back and watch those videos, and at the end of this video there will be a link to those other videos. Of course, they can be found through the website Bluegrass with Friends. You can go on there and find those videos as well. Okay, so we described melodies using numbers, and then the next thing we did is we learned how to explain chord progressions using numbers. All right, so the easiest chord progression is 1, 5, 1, and so in the key of G, that ends up being G is 1, G, A, B, C, D is the 5th note in the scale. So 1, 5, 1 means G, D, G, D, G. So I'm going to try and help you put this all together. So how do you actually use that? So let's say that we're going to play Little Birdie. Little birdie, little birdie, come and sing to me your song. Not a short time to stay here, and a long time to be gone. I'm a long ways from old Dixie, and my old Kentucky home. So here we go. Now I'm going to I've described the chord progression using numbers. Now I'm going to describe the melody using numbers. Little birdie, so let me see. Starts on D, D, E, G, 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 A, B, D, E, G, B. Those numbers in the scale, G, A, B, C, D, so D is 5, E is 6, 5, 6, 1, G to B, 1, 3. Okay, so did you notice that 1, 3, 5 are the notes in the chord? That tells me where to look for the notes in the melody. So 1, 5, 6, 1, 3. So that's the part. That's the first melody. All right. So this 2, 2, 7, 5. Okay, so the notes in the 5 chord are 2, 7, and 5. D, F sharp, and A are the notes that make a D chord. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You can think of D, F sharp, and A as being 1, 3, 5 from a D scale, or you can think of it as being 5, 7, and 2 from a G scale. All right? But that's what's going on here. So the fact that the melody goes, that it uses D, E, G, B, G, B, D are the notes from a G chord. So mostly D's, G, B's, and D's in this part. That tells my ear that I'm hearing a G chord. And then da, 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 da. Okay. Notes from a D chord. That tells my ear, oh hey, this is no longer G. It's D now. Okay, so that's That's all there is to it. It's like, and so how do I use more of this information? Say that I don't know this song. If I can figure out the chords when I'm learning a song, the first thing that I do is I learn the chords. And so if I know what chord you're on, then I know to look in 1, 3, 5 from that chord. Not exclusively, but that's the first place to look to see where the melody starts, or where the melody is, you know. So most 99.9% of the time that melody is going to start on 1, 3, or 5. For instance, here in Little Birdie, it starts on 5. 5, 6, 1, 3. So they're not just the notes in the chord, they're also the most used notes in the melody. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and play a little birdie for you. Little birdie, come and sing to me your song. Got a short time for to stay here, and a long time to be gone. All right. Okay, so we just played that song in the key of G. So the beauty of this music theory is that the beauty of the music theory is knowing where to look for what it is you're looking for. Okay, so let's say that I'm going to play that same song in the key of A now, but I already know the numbers 5, 6, 1, 3. So you see the letter names of these notes are all going to change when you go to a different key. But the numbers are not going to change. So if I know that my chord here has 1, 5, 3, 1, I know that this E here is my 5 note. So that's where the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's where the song's going to start. 5, 6, 1, 3. 2, 2, 7, 5, 7, 8, 7, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 5, 6, 1, 3, 2, 2, 7, 5, 7, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. All right, so different key, letters all change. E, F sharp, A, C sharp, B, B, G sharp, E. It's way more complicated than thinking of it as 1, 5, 6, 1, 3. Okay, so that's how this works, and at first it's a bit challenging to think in these terms. You're not used to saying numbers when you explain chord progressions and saying 1, 5, 1. But once you get used to it, it makes total sense, and it's really not hard. I mean, believe me, I'm no genius. Why don't we do Mama don't allow no banjo picking around here. Mama don't allow no banjo picking around here. We don't care what Mama don't allow, we're gonna pick that banjo anyhow. Mama don't allow no banjo picking around here. Okay, the 5th string is a 1. That's an A note here. I'm capoed up. This is an E note. That's the 5. Then we have another A. That's 1. So we got 5. We got 1, 5, 1. C sharp is 3, and this is 5 again. So we've got 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. So the beauty of the banjo is that it's usually tuned, and you can tune banjos a bunch of different ways, but the standard tuning for a 5-string is 1, 3, 5. So it's really easy to explain music theory on here because 1, 3, 5, they're just right in a row. And so it makes it easy to understand. Okay, so mama don't allow no banjo picking around here. That's the 3rd string. That's the 1 note. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2. 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2. Okay, remember that last song? The 2 note is from the 5 chord. That's this note right here, and this is a D chord on the banjo. And then we go back to the 1 note. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3. 2, 1, 1, 1, flat 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's where it gets tricky because let's start over from the beginning. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2. That's where it goes to the 5. E in this case. And then we're back to 1, both in the chords and the melody. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Now, how come I'm playing a 1 note in the melody yet playing the 4 chord here? And that's because the 4, okay, again, here we go back to that 1, 3, 5 stuff. 1, 3, 5 are the notes in the chord. So, but if we start on the 4 chord, in this case, we're in A, so A, B, C, D is the 4 chord. So this is now D, the 1. D, E, F sharp, G, A. D, F sharp, and A are the notes in this D chord. Well, you can just see right here that 3rd string here, that's open. That's the 1 in G, D. I'm sorry, that's not a G string. That's an A note. D, F sharp, and A. This is the 5 from this D chord. But it's the 1 from the G chord. So that note can be either of these chords. That note is in D and that note is in A, but that note is not in the E chord, in the 5 chord. So that gets tricky because, but that's just how the chords go. We don't care what mama don't allow, play my banjo anyhow. Mama don't allow no banjo. That goes down to the 5th note in the scale. 1, 1, 1, 6, 5, 5, 5, 6, 1. All right, and again that 5 note, same thing. That is in the 1 chord, and it's also in the 5 chord. How do you know which chord to play? There's no easy answer to that other than knowing how the chords go in the song. So I guess if I was a blues band, they don't seem to like to change chords much, so they just be like, we don't care what mama don't allow, play my banjo anyhow. Mama don't allow no banjo playing around here. I just stay on the whole 1 chord for that whole part. We don't care what mama don't allow, play my banjo anyhow. Mama don't allow no banjo playing around here. Doesn't sound great, but it kind of works, so you see what I'm talking about. All right. Now, let me see. So, how about Wabash Cannonball? That's a good one because it goes 1, 4, 5, the chord progression. Let's do it in the key of C. From the great, great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore. To the snowy mountains down the Southland by the shore. So the chord progression is 1, 4, 5, all right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 1, 6. All right, 6. That is the third note in the 4 scale. 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, and 1. 4, 6, and 8 are the notes in the 4 chord. Every other note, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this E note here, I'm sorry, that's A. That tells my ear to go to the F chord, which is the 4 chord. Then you're 5, 5, 7, 5, 5, 7, 2. All right. 1, 3, 2, 2, 5, 7, 2. Remember I was telling you 5, 7, 2 are the notes in the 5 chord? Those are exactly the notes that we're playing in our melody here in Wabash Cannonball. So, just trying to help you understand how this all goes together. And, you know, I appreciate you watching. And if you have any questions, please do. Don't hesitate to ask. And there's going to be a click on that little link right there to get back to those other videos if you need to watch them. And thanks for watching.